this spot the first day, got like 20 fish, none of them were big, because I let them bounce for days. And then I was
Hey guys, just wrapped up the Bass Nation qualifier out at Bartlett Lake. It's tough. Managed 8th place out of 55, so a good amount of points to be able to start off the year. Real happy with how that turned out, because it did not play nicely with a lot of other people. There were only 7 boats, if I remember correctly, that weighed in a limit. It was tough. I didn't catch my last fish to fill my limit till 5 minutes before weigh-in. Kind of threw a Hail Mary and connected. But I wanted to make a video, kind of go over, what I caught them on, how I caught them, kind of go over the gear that I use out there on the water. Just give you guys an update basically as to how the lake was. It was tough. Real muddy water, a lot of debris. There was an algae bloom going on down by the dam. So really nowhere you ran on that lake could you find what that lake is used to, the kind of clear water. It really shut down. I know from pre-fishing, probably the first 2 weeks out of that month, really good. We were averaging probably about 10-12 pounds just throwing jigs. And come tournament time, the water came up within 2 weeks prior to the tournament about 16 feet. So it really hurt. Now when I got there, kind of took a little bit of time off before. I didn't want to burn out my areas that at least I knew fish were hanging out. Got out there, the perfect day. There was just a little bit of chop on the water, light breeze. Started out throwing my jig, the thing that I had the most confidence in out there. Real soon into that, kind of had a gut feeling, and I'm one that I always go off of my gut out there. you can't get caught up in dock talk or anything like that. If something's telling you, hey stupid, put it down, throw something else, do it. Don't overthink, just fish. And that's something that I've always tried to take with me out there, is don't overthink it. Just let your instinct take over as to where you're going, where you're going to be able to find fish. Well, my instinct was telling me, put down the jig, downsize your line, start throwing a shot. So that's what I did. Ended up putting 2 fish in the boat real quick first thing in the morning. Kind of got my confidence rolling with that a little bit. Through the day, kind of kept picking up the jig a little bit here and there. Caught 1 fish on a jig all day, and that's going from catching 15 to almost 20 jig fish a day down to just 1. Only bite I got, only fish I voted on it. But I kind of wanted to go over what I was using out there. So for my jig setup, got 2 of these. I just grabbed the one that I was actually using out there, but it's the Daiwa Tatula CT series. It's a 7:3 to 1 gear ratio. This is a bad little reel for the money. For 129 bucks, cannot beat this thing. Now I'll throw the Sunline Sniper and a 14-pound test. It's not one of those not too bulky, but not real finesse, so you can really throw it around a lot of rocks, anything like that. You don't have to worry about getting it too eaten up. Rod wise, throw the Dobbins Fury. It's a 704, so it's 7'4" power, which equates to heavy, fast action. It's a perfect balanced little setup. But what comes down to it is this little guy. Now, this I've been throwing for a few years now, and more I just fall in love with this. But it's a Kitech tungsten football head. It's the Model 2 in green pumpkin. This is a bad little jig to be able to get a 1/2 ounce and be able to stay that small in profile, and that's a big thing out there. I've noticed from throwing other jigs and then making the switch over to the Kitechs. There is a big difference in fish catch once you go to a tungsten, just let alone what you're able to feel. But they run a thinner wire hook on there that I will put against any heavy wire out there. This thing does not move. They have a nice light weed guard on there. Let's see if I can move that. They have a nice light weed guard on there. Does its job, but it doesn't affect your fishing. Now, trailer. This little guy I've kind of stumbled across that, honestly, this is probably my new favorite trailer, but it's the Rains, the Ring Craw, also in a green pumpkin. This together has been by far the best little jig that I've been able to put together and actually fish consistently. It's one of those that once you got confidence in a bait, it shows. You'll start catching fish. I mean, confidence is everything out there. If I don't have confidence in what I'm doing and what I'm throwing, or the gear that I'm using, then I'm not going to be there mentally. I'm not going to be there focusing on the bait. I'm going to be more worried about, man, that jig doesn't look right, or I got too heavy a line, or I don't know if this rod's going to be good enough to get a good hook set in there. Once you kind of get all of that together and you just finally get confidence in yourself and what you're doing, you are going to be a better angler. Once I finally started doing this, got that jig, got a few catches on it, noticed the outnumbering that I was doing in fish catches compared to other friends and just other anglers that I know. Gives me the confidence that, you know what, I probably got a leg up on a few guys, that I can get a few more bites that they won't be able to. And that has been a phenomenal setup. Now, this little guy has been a moneymaker just over the years. My saying has always been, when in doubt, shot it out. But my drop shot rod is a Shimano Crucial. It's one of the first gens back when they still had the carbon, or the cork handles on them. Now, I run the 6.8. It's a medium, extra fast. So you get a really fast tip and plenty of backbone. I like the 6.8. It's not too, I don't like really longer drop shot rods. There's some people that like a 7 foot or 7.2. I honestly like the shorter. It feels easier, lighter in my hand, easier for me to be able to control and feel. matched it up with the Shimano Stratic, the 2500. It's one of the older series. Still phenomenal, really. You can't beat a Stratic. I'll put anything up against that. Now I'll run 12 pound. It's Berkeley Nanofill. I run it in the white, so I'll be able to see it out on the water, see if I get any bites that I maybe don't feel. Be able to just line watch my line jump. I'll run that to an 8 pound Seaguar fluorocarbon leader. That right there it's money. Now my bait that I used, it's the Strike King, makes a dream shot. This just flat catches fish. It's in the hard candy color. Now I don't know what it is about this color when it kind of comes to muddy water, but every time that I kind of get into a dirty water situation and I throw this, it produces. And it's one of those, it's even got a clear enough kind of body to it that if you do throw it in clear type water, it does blend in a little bit, still looks real natural. I don't know what it is with the flake combination in there or whatever, it just makes it easier for them to see. A little bit more flash out of that, but the profile's nice. It's not overly huge. I know a lot of guys throw 6-inch rubber worms, things like that, but you're a little bit under that. You got a little bit different of a profile again profile. But one thing that I know that I do throw a lot different than a lot of people comes down to the weight. Throwing the Ventana drop shot weight, because it was a little bit windy and I was fishing a little bit deeper, I was running a 3/8 ounce just so I could actually get down there, not have to wait all day to be able to get down there and fish it. But with the Ventana I don't know if you can hear this, but it's got a glass bead in there. Now anybody that knows about fishing a drop shot, you kind of want your weight clacking across the rocks, going across there, so the fish kind of think it's a crawdad scurrying across the bottom, something like that. But once you put that glass bead in there, especially when you're in more stained water, dirtier water, the glass bead's just added noise, added water displacement, kind of stirs up the fish a little bit. It may not make that big of a difference, but you know what, if I could get, again, one more fish, maybe two more fish to actually be able to react out of that because they heard that versus a standard weight, I'm all about percentages. I'll take that percentage all day long because it just proved itself. I was able to put a few more fish in the boat that a lot of guys weren't able to do. But it's one of those, it just, again, it comes down to confidence. I got confidence in that bait and that it's going to produce for me. That's what I did. I went to just straight confidence. I didn't try anything fancy, didn't try anything out of the norm. Just stuck it out. Just put my head down, went till the final buzzer, and was able to make it happen. But I've got a few tournaments coming up here. Hopefully I can maintain my points. I know Roosevelt's coming up in March. It's gonna take 20 plus pounds out of there to win that. That's gonna be a big fish tournament. It's probably gonna be spawn, if not pre-spawn, but I'm sure there's gonna be some already up and locked. After that, we got Martinez in April. Really stay tuned for that. That's gonna be a fun video to be able to put together. I've never been there. From what I've researched and just from talking with other people, it's a flippin' paradise. So I'm really looking forward to that. But just stay tuned, subscribe, like. If you guys got any questions, any comments, anything like that, let me know. This is kind of my first one, kind of trying to get what I'm doing ironed out on this end, but gonna hopefully be able to kind of do some more product reviews, some tips, just be able to kind of get some more videos out there. But thanks guys, tight line, later.